I would like to also invite Ben Nadersky from the CEO of Solstice also to share a couple of words and he's basically why is it important to be here in the stable hacks and maybe also some inspiration from Solstice.
Very, very excited to be here. Very excited for this hackathon to be in motion. And first and foremost, we'd like to thank Kennedy for putting this all together, and to, of course, our partners, the Solana Foundation, Super Team Germany, Mina Bank, UBS, Steakhouse, Six, Fireblocks, SoftStack, and KeyRock, all around the table here. Many partners, past firms I've worked with, past firms I've worked in, and a lot of the team here is very, very excited to be kicking this off. So for those around the table that don't know who Solstice is, we are effectively an infrastructure provider as well as a yield service on Solana, and we are building institutional grade DeFi applications on Solana. Our flagship product, as you know, is USX, our stablecoin, which is pegged 1-to-1 with the US dollar, as well as EUSX, which is our tokenized yield play, which allows one-click access for all USX holders. And very simply, the thesis is very clear-cut, and that stagnant money is broken down. The stablecoin market has just crossed, it was $315 billion in total supply last time I checked, with Solana holding over 15 billion of those in stablecoins. Yet a vast majority of those dollars, they're sitting in wallets and treasuries and escrow and app balances. They don't earn anything. And that's a design failure. And that's effectively what Solstice has stepped in to fix, allowing yield as a service to come in and play into that dynamic while utilizing a USX token across the Solana ecosystem and across the broader DeFi ecosystem. So the use cases for these type of applications that we saw at Solstice were very clear. Now, why this matters now. So here's the macro context for what we're all building this week and what we're going to be working on in this hackathon. Stablecoins did roughly 35 trillion in transfer volumes last year. That's bigger than Visa. The market grew by over $100 billion in 2025 alone. Standard Chartered is projecting a path to $2 trillion by 2028. Western Union is launching a dollar stablecoin on Solana this year. This isn't speculative anymore. We're building full-blown financial infrastructure that we're seeing traditional and legacy players now enter into the space at scale with. And this is going to be not just an emerging trend, but an industry standard in a very short period of time here. Solana is the right rail for it, which is what we're very excited about. And this was mentioned earlier in some of the talks, but with sub 400 millisecond finality, fees under 10th of a cent, and a DeFi ecosystem now growing over $7 billion, the Solana ecosystem is very well positioned for production grade institutional environments for these applications. And there's a massive push being internet capital markets for the future on Solana is what the Solana Foundation has really championed lately. And that was seen even last night. I'm here in London. I spoke at this event called House of Sol, where it was institutional allocators, lots of banks, allocators, family offices, as well as the DeFi ecosystem, all together in a room discussing where we're moving from yield solutions to vault solutions, on-chain capital payment rails, as well as stablecoin rails. And the energy was electric last night to see everybody all together at the table. One of the things I'll talk about here is the 4 tracks where USX specifically fits into this type of hackathon. So the first is institutional permission DeFi vaults. It's probably the easiest, lowest touch hanging fruit. This is one of the atoms that are live in the market in DeFi and growing into that $7 billion DeFi market that we discussed. Think on-chain vault AUM. That went from under 100 million in early 2024 to now near all of that 7 billion mark in 2025. So the demand is very real from institutional allocators and retail participants. Now, imagine a permissioned vault where KYC institutions deposit the stablecoins, and those funds automatically generate yield through this layer that Solstice provides and USX provides to our partners as well. And this is allowing for vault structures not only with a delta neutral strategy, but tokenized T-bills, lending markets, whatever the risk mandate would effectively allow. USX is the yield engine under that hood that allows for that access into all of these different yield dynamics. That's a product that managers on the institutional allocator side, as validated last night, will actually use. And this money is being at the table effectively ready. They're waiting to get this money allocated into yield-bearing solutions, and they need that rail to unlock that. And we see USX as that key. Number 2 is that we have cross-border stablecoin treasury. So corporate treasurers, they're moving dollars through correspondent bank rails. This takes 2 to 3 days, charging 3 to 5% in FX fees. You can build a treasury management layer where idle stablecoin balances start to earn those yields. That stagnant capital that I started with, that's what we're talking about. So effectively, when your money is moving nonstop, while it's in your treasury, it's still be earning for you in that form. So the cross-border stablecoin treasury play as number 2 is one of the major points that USX really solves here. Number 3 is programmable stablecoin payments. And this is where it can get very interesting, especially if you consider agentic commerce and the AI integrations down the road. But conditional payments, things like automatic sweeps, etc., these escrows that earns while you wait is the key here. Think payroll that accrues yield until the second it hits the recipient's wallet. That would optimize payroll for everybody having payments in stablecoins, for example. Think subscription payments where the flow is productive for your platform. So effectively, the amount of circulating supply out in the market that are in those stagnant platforms on those subscription payment software platforms are earning. There's no cash drag available there. Every single dollar that's moving through your app can effectively be a yield generating dollar. And that's the cash optimization. That's the real breakthrough that stablecoins can provide into. And finally is the RWA push. Last night, one of the major highlights from the Solana ecosystem directly was over $2 billion in RWAs now on chain on Solana. That is a massive growth leap over the last 12 months alone. And there's a reason for that. And they're coming onto Solana for a reason. We're talking about gold, T-bills, cash equivalents, on-chain collateral, and making them programmable so that way you can actually do something with them. You can tokenize anything. You can tokenize every single aspect of life if you want. I mean, I remember back in the days, I've been in crypto since about 2013, and in the early days of crypto, people were tokenizing their birth certificates. They were tokenizing oil contracts. They were tokenizing Pokemon cards. They were tokenizing every single aspect of life. But what matters is not bringing it on chain. That's the first step, but there's no real value accruing there in that single step. The accruing of value is being able to optimize that asset across the DeFi ecosystem. Take something like the TER from Bhutan Sovereign Gold-backed token that's already live on Solana, for example. You can use that as a collateral to mint a USX denominated derivative, for example. And an institution has a programmable stablecoin exposure to sovereign gold natively on chain, while transparent backing and automated settlement occurs automatically on chain. That combination effect is where the value accruing really happens. More so, when you have that tokenized receipt, you can then go do things with it further to optimize your cash flows, optimize your exposure, hedge your exposure, whatever it might be, across several different amazing DeFi applications that we see in the ecosystem here. So finally, there's no manual processes or black boxes when it comes to these RWAs. That's what institutions actually need to get comfortable with moving forward on the real capital on chain. And those RWAs that we're speaking about specifically unlock that value proposition. So what we're offering from our side is this is effectively a product collaboration opportunity for everybody around the table here. So post hackathon, all of the applications that we're going to be looking at very, very heavily. We're going to be looking at it in detail, and we'd love to work with a number of you guys in putting those applications that you develop and those use cases into fruition. The DeFi industry moves exceptionally fast. And despite AI taking all the credit for being the fastest moving industry and all these exciting updates, yes, that's the hot thing in the world right now. DeFi has quietly been moving at that speed for numbers of years now, and it's only getting faster. And so with the products and applications in which you develop, we're more than happy to bring those into fruition, get you in touch with the right partners immediately, get you the dev resources that you need to put those into scale up production, into production at scale, and get those live into the DeFi ecosystem. So to close here, the prize pool across this hackathon is $202,000 US, which is very, very exciting. Amina's offering 100K in paid pilot opportunities as well for the top teams. This is not just a hackathon. It's a direct pipeline to production. And so effectively, I believe it's 10 days here from now. So let's build something that makes money move smarter. And we really can't wait to see what you guys ship. Thank you guys so much.